Hey there, gang. Patrick King here. Happy to be coming to you live again, another live Facebook broadcast. If you're joining us here, please take a minute, tag your friends, bring your friends along, invite them to come and watch our broadcast as well. We've got some great questions that have been asked to us both through our private Facebook discussion group, and we've also got a question that's been asked to us from our Facebook page. If you're interested in joining us on the private Facebook group, you can do a search for that through your Facebook search engine. You can look for Patrick King Horsemanship and you'll find the group pop up in there. Be sure that you like our page and then ask to join the group. And we'll be sure to get you in on that. This way, you get your questions basically to the front of the line when we do our live broadcasts like this. So it looks like we've got some folks filing in. Hi, Lori. Good to see you there. So we're going to get started. So the first question that we've got here, again, came from our Facebook group. This came from Jean. Jean says, when I work with my horse on the lunge, he always counterbends, and how do I correct this? So what we want to first ask is, why is your horse counterbending? That's a question that we want to ask ourselves first, because that might dictate what we do to solve that. The first thing that we want to take away is any potential question of pain or discomfort. If pain or discomfort is causing him to counterbend or to be heading in the wrong direction when he's on the lunge, then of course we're going to want to get that taken care of. So that could be a skeletal problem, maybe chiropractic, could be a muscular problem, could be some sort of lameness issue. So that's something that we want to get taken care of. Now, I will say that is very often not the case. All right. So what we want to think about is fixing that horse that's in what we would consider the counter bend on our circle. So let's say we're lunging our horse, working our horse on a circle to the left. A counter bend would be that horse is shaped up or looking outside of our circle. So we're going left, but he's prepared, he's looking, he's bending to the right. So what we want to think about is how the horse balances when he's properly on the circle. We know that the hind end is the motor of the horse, and we also know, based on mechanics, that the inside hind leg specifically is the driver of the horse, and the outside shoulder is inside hind, outside shoulder are the primary balancers. All right, inside hind being the driver of the horse. Somebody's telling me our video is blurry. Let's squeak on that. I don't know if that helps. I hope that helps us out, Lori. So, again, the inside hind leg is the driver. The inside hind and the outside shoulder are the primary balancers. So, if we think about that horse being lunged or worked on a circle to the left, that should be the left hind leg and the right shoulder. If he's in counter bend, he's using the opposite balancing legs. Because we know the hind legs are the drivers, if we focus on engaging the inside hind leg, we will be able then to bring the horse into the correct bend. In other words, if we're circling left, the left hind should be engaging. It should be stepping deeper underneath the horse's body. If the horse is counter bent, it's going to be that opposite hind leg. Now, again, we said we've already ruled out the idea of pain. Maybe we're looking at distraction. Maybe he's fearful of something and he's got his eye on that. That, again, is a situation where we want to say to our horse, look, keep your eyes on your own paper. Focus on the work that we have at hand. If it's a legitimate fear, we'll address that, of course, but primarily the horse needs to be focusing and working with us. So we'll take the time to, squelch that fear if that's what he's got going on, and then get back to work. If it's a disrespect issue, Basically, we're going to be taking care of that the same way, asking that inside hind leg to step deeper underneath. One of the ways that I work with when we're starting out, teaching the horse, educating the horse about bending around us properly, is in hand with a dressage whip. I might hold near to the snap on the lead rope, reach my dressage whip back to the hind leg, pet him a little, make sure he knows we're all right, and then tap on that leg until he steps underneath, putting the proper arc in his body. So that might be, Gene, where you want to go back, start kind of from scratch there and ask your horse to step underneath with that hind leg first, and then from there ask him to go on in the appropriate bend on your circles. Hopefully that'll help you. Also, we've posted a video recently of a new telescopic rod that I've been using to work with horses. It's about 12 feet long, so it's really handy that you can reach kind of each piece of your horse as he's working on a circle. We just released sort of a how-to video on that, helping the horse to get into better bend and better balance using that rod. I've been so impressed with it and finding new ways to use it every day. We've dubbed it my magic wand. I love using that. So in our show notes, we'll post a link to that video so that you can watch that if you haven't already. Okay, so if you're just joining us, thanks for coming out. It's great to have you. Take a moment, maybe tag one of your friends or 100 of your friends in the comments below. Invite them to come and join our video. If these questions have been helpful to you through the videos that we've been doing, please share it. Invite your friends. We want to also put a little embarrassing shout out to Nicole over here. Nicole Valeri has joined us this week. She's from the Pittsburgh area, Pennsylvania. She's a trainer, and she's been here for kind of a professional butt kicking for the last week. So we've been having a lot of fun riding horses, and it's great to have her kind of looking over my shoulder. Everybody send a comment and a hello to Nicole. She's from Pinnacle Stables. That's where she trains out of. Kind of egg her on, invite her to do some of these live broadcasts. We'll shame her into it if we have to. So, all right. So another question came in to us from Lisa. This is a question to our group. Lisa wants to know if we have any advice or exercises for rebuilding confidence after a scare, and also for some trust and respect exercises on the ground pre-ride. That could be an extensive video in itself. So one of the things that I'm going to do is defer to a very good friend of mine, Wendy Murdoch. She just recently posted a video on her Facebook page. I'm going to, again, in the show notes, in the video notes, I'm going to post a link to that video and to her Facebook page as well. She posted this video called Flirting with the Line, where she discussed what she refers to as her explain fear model, basically talking about how your brain warns you about pain, fear, damage situations. It's a fantastic video that'll give you a great insight into how your brain works, telling you about fear. So more asking, where's your fear coming from? How is it affecting you, and what can you specifically do in those situations? Now, exercises on the ground pre-ride. Again, we talked in our last question about the counterbending horse on a lunge. We talked about the inside hind leg being the driver, okay? The driver, it's kind of like your car, right? You want to make sure you've got a gas pedal and a brake pedal that both work appropriately when you ask them to. Similarly with your horse. Now again, we know the inside hind leg is the driver of our horse. The more control we can get over our horse's hind quarters, the better chance we're going to have of being in control when we're riding. Also when we're on the ground. That's going to be very important. I think probably 80% of any of the problems that we have with our horse on the ground or under saddle could be solved or prevented by having better control of his hindquarters. I need a minute here to take a drink. All right. We've got lots of great comments and questions coming in so far. That's great. So again, gang, if you've just joined in, maybe let us know where you're at, where you're listening. Our last broadcast, we had folks from all over the U.S., Canada, and even into Germany. That was a lot of fun. So, take a minute. Let us know where you're at. And again, if you can, invite some of your friends to join us. Tag them, share the link with them, however. So from our group, again, our private Facebook group, if you're interested in joining, if you're not already a member of that group, click in your Facebook browser, Patrick King Horsemanship, and you'll find our private group. Send us a request to join and we'll add you. We've got a great group of folks in there. The discussions have been fantastic. So Peggy asks this question in our group. How do you teach a horse to find relaxation? She's looking for a relaxed and supple body with a rounded back, hind impulsion with mental relaxation. Again, that's something that, that question itself could be a whole DVD series, all right? But we want to take a look at what is that relaxation? How does the horse express relaxation to us? So one of the ways that I start with teaching a horse relaxation is with our in-hand work, with our groundwork, helping the horse to develop confidence on the ground and helping to achieve precise, smooth control over my horse's front end and hind end, and of course forward and backward movement. Now, my very good late friend Mark Russell has a fantastic book titled Lessons in Lightness. He's got a fantastic DVD that he had produced on, very much this idea, helping the horse to relax and use their body completely. And I think those are great resources. I recommend them for everyone if you're interested in learning about helping your horse to relax and engage at the same time. So a lot of the work that I do on the ground is very similar to that. We also have an in-hand DVD that will be released soon as well. We've been adding some videos to our YouTube channel. We've been trying to add a couple videos each week to that, which is kind of a tall task, especially now with me going to hit the road full-time again. I've been here at home for January working some training horses, going to be hitting the road this weekend and hitting the clinic scene pretty hard again. So what I want to think about, how do we get the horse to relax under saddle? We start in hand so that he has a base of understanding of what his body feels like in relaxation. And from there then, we're going to try to approach these things similarly under saddle. Suppling the shoulders, suppling the rib cage, suppling and engaging the hindquarters, asking the horse to stretch and lengthen through the neck. Now, what I see most common in our clinics are horses that have not yet found, of course, this relaxation, and they've not found what I would call their base tempo. Okay, we want to talk a little bit about the difference between the rhythm and the tempo. Any of you out there who are big into music, you'll understand this already. If you're interested in dressage, you probably talk about this quite a bit. The rhythm is the beats of the horse's gait. So we know a walk has 4 beats, a trot has 2 beats, canter has 3 beats. Tempo is the speed of those beats, all right? So one of the things that we see pretty often in clinics is horses that are kind of erratic in their tempo. They go a little slow, then they go a little fast, and they go a little slow, then they go a little fast. Or maybe they go a little fast, and then they go a lot faster, right? And that can become a tug of war with the rider trying to micromanage and hold the horse into his own tempo, trying to relax the horse that way. One of the first things that we do is teach these horses and these riders to go basically on the buckle, to give the horse the freedom to find his own tempo, all right? Relaxation comes to the horse for kind of knowing that he's responsible for those things. And I try to think of it that I don't hold him in relaxation, but I hold him responsible for relaxation. There's a few things that I've learned through the years that you cannot force or rush. Those things would be relaxation, confidence, and understanding. We can help them to develop, but we cannot rush those things. So one of the things that we'll do, say the horse is rushing and erratic at the trot, we'll have the riders go to the buckle and we'll ask these horses to trot. And that's the only thing that they focus on, is just trotting. We give them the reins, we let them go quick, we let them slow down, we let them do whatever they want to. And they might be trotting around for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time until those horses relax on their own into a steady tempo. Once they find their own base tempo, then we can do something with that. And if we're asking the horse, say, for a connection or an engagement, and they start to get erratic or nervous again, we go right back to that buckle, allowing the horse to find their natural, relaxed tempo again. Now, you might say, my horse is going to take off. He might buck me off. He might run away. He might do all these other things if I let go of the reins. What we're going to do in that case is, if the horse is tense to the point of taking off, bolting, doing anything like that, we're going to reach down on the inside rein and bend our horse, unlocking the hindquarters, getting better control of that inside hind leg, which we know is the driving leg, and then we allow the horse to go back to the buckle again. If your horse is really erratic, you might be releasing to the buckle only to immediately bend him again. But what we want to think about is that we cannot hold that horse back with two reins. If the horse is tense or worried and we hold back with two reins, we're just going to add anxiety to his tension that he's already got. All right? That's part of equine psychology. There's nothing that you or I can do to change that. That's just a fact of how horses work. So we need to give them that rein, allow them to go out there and make those choices for themselves. We say to the horses, make good choices. We give them the buckle. We allow them to go out there. And again, you might be trotting around for 15 or 20 minutes until the horse starts to relax into his own rhythm. What if your horse takes longer? Hang out there and ride him. It's good for the rider and for the horse sometimes to ride for that length of time in one gait anyway. It's great for the fitness on both sides. Each time we ask this of our horse, we'll find that it will take less and less time for them to find that relaxation. And we need to make a program of doing this consistently until the horse basically owns the relaxation. That's really important. Okay, let's see. We've got some comments coming up here. Yes, I am going to be coming. Thank you, Stephanie, for the reminder. I'm going to be coming to Ocala, Florida this February. I believe it's the third weekend of February, the weekend following Valentine's. We're going to be having a clinic. If you're interested, check out our Facebook event page. Also check out the page for the B-Bar-C Foundation Station in Ocala, Florida. That's where we're going to be at. It's going to be a great time. We've got some great folks that are going to be there. The facility is fantastic. The folks that are there are top-notch. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun. So, scrolling through some of our comments on here. Charlotte from New Zealand. That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining in here. We've got Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, North Carolina. Lori is trying to be funny and ask me what's in my bottle. This is water, I promise. Okay. Let's see, and we've got a question coming in here. Oh, we've got Jody from Delaware. Awesome, thank you. Jerry wants to know, does it matter if you're posting the trot versus sitting the trot when helping your horse to relax? Again, this is relaxing at the trot. Take that information that we talked about. We can use that at the canter also. Be prepared to ride the canter for a while. So when we're riding, should we be posting the trot or sitting the trot? I'm going to say that either one is appropriate, taking into consideration whether or not the rider's seat can help the horse to relax. If we're riding the trot and we try to sit and we're bouncing all over the place, then we're not going to be helping our horse at all. If we have a soft and supple connected seat, then the sitting trot can help our horse. Likewise, if our seat is not very well connected, if we're bouncing all over the place because we're tight in the hips or tight in our back, or just generally unbalanced, then the posting trot's going to be more appropriate because that allows us to ride a little more smoothly with our horse. So thank you so much for asking that question, Jerry. Let's see. All right, now from our Facebook page, because of course we start offering our questions, our live questions, through our private Facebook group, and then we open them up to our Facebook page. Irene on our Facebook page has asked, can you tell me the best way to lift my horse's inside shoulder in order to help straighten my horse? This is a question that I get a lot. So I want to kind of address this in maybe a different way. We hear people talk all the time about my horse drops his inside shoulder, or he's leaning in with his inside shoulder. Let's think again about the biomechanics and how our horse works. The inside hind leg and the outside shoulder are the primary balancers. The inside hind leg is the driver. If our horse is leaning to the inside shoulder, that's telling us that his balance is on that inside shoulder. That would also mean the balance in the hind is on the outside hind leg, rather than the inside hind and the outside shoulder. He's going around essentially what we would call counterbalanced. He might not be counterbent, but he'd be counterbalanced. So what we need to do in that case is to rebalance the horse. Ask him to step his hind leg, inside hind leg, deeper underneath his body to carry the balance more appropriately. When the hind leg is sufficiently driving, it lifts the shoulders, all right? So the shoulders kind of are the expression of the problem in that case, of the horse dropping the inside shoulder, leaning to the inside shoulder, but they're not where the problem originates, all right? If the shoulder is dropping, it's because it's not being sufficiently pushed by the inside hind leg. The inside hind is not driving under enough to support the shoulder, all right? So we want to, again, go back to the hindquarters. It's like we mentioned earlier. Probably 80% of the problems that we have with our horse could be solved or prevented by having better control over the hindquarters. So that's where we want to go, Irene, to help rebalance your horse in that sense. So, all right, gang, this has been a lot of fun. We've got a lot of great comments coming in here. It's fantastic to see you guys here. I've really enjoyed this. Looking forward to doing another one of these live discussions. Again, feel free, send us questions, send us comments, tag your friends. This video is going to stay up. We're also going to add it to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, we've been uploading videos very frequently, 3, 4, 5 videos each week to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that so that you get notifications when that comes up, when we publish each of our videos. Send us questions. Ask us for things. I'm happy to make videos on request. Most of the videos that we make are on, are based off of questions that we've had asked of us through email, through Facebook, through our messenger, things like that. So, Lori, I see you popping up. Answer my question, please. All right, I was going to send you a private email about this, but now we're going to, she wants the nitty-gritty, so we're going to get into this. Lori wants to know what sort of exercises she can do at the walk to help her horse to focus, stay engaged, not get bored out of his tree at the walk, because right now she's in a spot where all she can do while she's riding is walk her horse. And we've got a lot of folks that I talk to that are in that situation as they're recovering from injury, as they're helping overcome fears, as they're helping their horse maybe to overcome injuries or fears. Sometimes we can walk our horse, but we don't want to work them too hard. How do we work them in such a way that keeps them engaged, keeps them supple, and keeps them from getting bored out of their tree if we're just walking. So one of the exercises that I love doing is one we call the one step, where we ask our horse to take one step underneath with the hind leg, and then one step open with their shoulder, and then we swap sides. Say we start with the left side. We want one step underneath the body with the left hind leg, and then we want one step left with the left front leg. Then we'll change sides. One step under with the right hind leg, one step open with the right front leg. When we're doing that, we're being very specific with our horse. Now, I'm not saying ride your horse for an hour doing this one step exercise, but I'm saying focus yourself down on the horse's feet. Really be specific. What's going on in those feet? There's a lot of different things that you can do at the walk as far as your serpentines. You could be trail riding and stay at the walk. You could also play with, one of my favorite things to do, is play with the speeds of walk that your horse has. I think it was Nuno Oliveira said that he discovered 13 different types of walk. You know, most of us have 3. We've got a normal walk, we've got a slow walk, and we've got a fast walk. So play around with that idea. Really get that horse adjusting to your body. We can work on leg yields constantly. We can work on these spirals and serpentines, changes of direction, changes of bend, asking our horse to stretch and to connect and collect. There's so much that we can do at the walk. We don't have to be utilizing all of our horse's gaits in order to keep his mind engaged. The biggest piece is the precision that we're asking for, okay? Yeah, great. And Lori says that's what she's trying to do, walk fast, and then, okay, good. So you want to keep up with those ideas and add some variation in where you do it. You might put some obstacles in the mix as well. That could really help. So, all right. So we're going to call this a night. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Please, if you get an opportunity, share this video. Again, it's going to be up on our Facebook page, and it'll soon be up on our YouTube channel as well. Share this with your friends. Share it to your pages. Share it in groups if you want. One final hello to Nicole Valeri joining us for the week. Again, check her out on Facebook at Pinnacle Stables. She's got a Facebook account. She's got an Instagram account. Check her out. And of course, visit us as well through our Facebook outlets, through our YouTube channel, our Instagram account, all that fun stuff as well. So again, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time. Check out our Facebook page. We'll be posting an announcement of our next YouTube live broadcast. Thanks, guys.